Whoa. It's a bit of fun. So, got another 2,000 revs. Bit like Kawasaki in the World Superbikes. Morning, Codger Biker here. I've just had the first 300-mile service done. I'll talk you through what happened. Still a bit confusing. So, the first service was done at 300 miles. I was actually 0.5 of a mile off, or 0.4 of a mile off the 300, which annoyed me. I should have gone round the block and got it to spot on 300. Anyway, so the 300-mile service, I am informed, is no longer a valve check. It's simply an oil change and a filter and a general check over the bike. £180. 180. Yes, they saw you coming. They certainly did. Now, talking to the service technician, apparently it's recently just been changed by Royal Enfield, and he wasn't sure, but he thinks it's now, the next service is 4,500 miles or a year, whichever comes first. And the second service will be the valves. So instead of doing them at 300 miles, they're now doing them at possibly 4,500 miles. So I'm sure people will tell me that's wrong, but that is the current advice from Royal Enfield, and that's what you get. So it's done. I'm now able to, according to the handbook, go up to another 2,000 revs as I'm on the motorway in 6th gear doing 70. I don't really need them. I'm doing 4.5, but anyway, so just a little update. First service done, 300 miles. Still absolutely adore the bike. I really love it. But I've had two issues, both of which are possibly not as depressing as I thought. The first one, well, it's just my stupidity. I thought the odometer was going up a mile every few seconds, so it now reads 3,063 miles, which I thought was about 10 times too many, and it turns out, yeah, it's exactly 10 times too many, because that's a decimal point, you idiot. Talk to myself. Hey, everybody happy? La 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 la. Not you, Miguel. So, I don't know why I thought that. I'm very long-sighted these days, but yeah, it was tense, it's going up, so that was not an issue. The second issue, I've cut out a couple of times in the first week of the bike of it getting stuck in neutral, usually when I'm in busy traffic, and I couldn't get first, and I was in absolute panic. So I emailed the garage, but they didn't get back to me. I suppose I could have phoned them up, but I went online and found a few people who had similar problems, and the consensus was that A, it gets better as the miles go along, so hopefully it's just a run-in thing. But then I noticed, reading the manual, read the manual, stupid, it does say that during the running in period to only use 1/3 of the clutch in first gear. And guess what? If you only use 1/3 of the clutch, as I'll demonstrate here, in first, it goes in every time. So, a bit weird, but a quirk of the bike, and to be fair to them, if I had read the manual, it is covered in it. I think the clutch is a bit tight, needs adjusting a little bit. He says, going back into neutral. It seems to, if you pull the full lever of the clutch in, only on first and neutral, and the weird thing is it won't go back into second either when it gets stuck. So it's a particular set of circumstances around the way I ride, I think. So I've put it into neutral and I've kept the clutch in. This time it won't go into first, but it will go into second. So initially, now it won't go into first, and it won't go into second. Okay, full in clutch. But I haven't released the clutch between stopping and in neutral. But now, if I let the clutch out just a bit, clunk to third. So it's a quirk. If you don't know about it, it's quite scary, and it's also seems to be if you keep the clutch in when you're in neutral. So really, as I should anyway, when I go to neutral I should let the clutch out, and then I think it's fine even with the lever pulled full in. But sometimes you get to the lights and they change, so in order to get that satisfying clunker first I have to let the clutch off a bit. So what I could do is loosen the clutch a little bit, I suppose. So a lot of people had said on the forums adjust your clutch, so that's the next job. But forewarned is forearmed. Now I know how to get first every time without an issue. Just use 1/3 of the clutch. I've sorted that out. So the two issues I had, which if you buy a new one of these and you don't know, like me, then it can be quite disheartening. I thought I was going to have to take the bike back because of the odometer, which was, you know, my own idiocy. But the clutch, the first gear clutch thing, let's just do it. If I pull up in neutral here with the clutch in, if I don't let it out again, full in, I might not. Well, it's now jammed, I can't get first. But if I let the clutch to 1/3, it goes straight in. So there you go. If you can't get neutral on your new Interceptor, no doubt as the clutch wears down that will become less of an issue, or it may just be a thing of the gearbox bedding in. As I say, very very weirdly, I'll put a screenshot up, it does actually mention it in the running in schedule of the manual. Now I've never seen that before, but anyway, that's what it says. There was a squeaky bum time or two till I learned that, as I'll show you here. For some reason or other, if you stop the engine and restart it, everything works, but I think that's just because you've let the clutch in, or I let the clutch in and out. Since I've learned that, I've not had an issue at all. So all's well that ends well thus far. And on 309 miles, first service complete. Codger biker is out. Loving this thing. I'm going to have a ride around. Look at me watch. Look at me handlebar watch. Look at that. Hey, Timex, ticker 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 ticker. Timex. Looks like my first watch when I was a little boy. It looks like it's even got glow in the dark numbers on it. I hope so. Can't wait to go out at night and find out. It would be, I could say it's all analog, but it isn't, because these work off electricity and that works off a quartz battery. But it looks analog, I suppose. There's no cables whizzing around inside the Speedo. I'm sure you knew that. Goodbye, I'm out.